Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna and our AAA show with Amma, Abik and myself. Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, good man. All good.
All good, yeah. Happy. Final day of the season coming up. So all to look forward to.
Yeah, let's start with the FA Cup final. So it finished another 0-0 after 90 minutes between you two. Another 0-0 after extra time as well. And another penalty shootout, another sudden death in a penalty shootout. This time there were some missed penalties. It didn't continue going on and on like the last one, but it did get to sudden death again. It's ironic that, two finals have ended in such similar circumstances. Chelsea were the unlucky ones to lose out in the penalty shootout. It's always heartbreaking to lose in the penalty shootout. I'm sure you're in a lot of pain, Amir.
Yeah, tough one to take. I'd say it was a good game. I think the Carabao Cup. I think in the Carabao Cup we deserve to win, and I think in the first 90, Liverpool deserved to win. If you look at the chances they had in the FA Cup final. Again, just like the whole season, our attackers unfortunately let us down. We had a few half chances. Pulisic had a few chances. Lukaku had one, quarter half chance. But it wasn't much in it. Liverpool had some really good chances. First 20 minutes, Diaz kept getting in behind. He was playing really well, Diaz, the whole game. But the first 20 minutes was causing us a lot of problems. And yeah, the first 9 minutes was I was fortunate to go to the game. And it was an amazing atmosphere, an amazing day out. The first 90, I'd say Liverpool edged it, but it was even. We both hit the post, Alonso and Diaz, during the game. And then after 90 minutes, both teams were really shattered. You could see it. Both teams really both teams really weren't really going for the goal. They were just like, what do we do? It's like you don't want to go penalties, but then you don't want to overcommit and then you concede and then the game's done. And this game, I believe whoever scored first won the game. So I think both teams were a little bit careful of getting done on the counter. So yeah, a little bit cagey, and also both teams cancelling each other out. And then on penalties, I mean, yeah, it's mostly a lottery, and it really is mostly a lottery. But at the same time, it's about you keeping your head cool, picking a spot, being confident with the spot, with the way you're going to take the penalty. Unfortunately, Aspie missed the penalty, and then I thought Mane is going to win it, and then when Mane missed, I thought good save from Mendy. I thought, oh, maybe this is our trophy. And then Mount unfortunately took a very bad penalty. If you look at the way he took his penalty, the technique, he literally shows the people where he's going. So yeah, tough on Mount, and then yeah, Simicast finished it off, and yeah, tough to take, but it's small margins in these both finals now we've had. I think it was worse in the Carabao Cup because we deserved to win the Carabao Cup. We had good chances that we just bottled. But this game, I can take losing this game because I think it was even, but I think Liverpool edged it, and then penalties is anyone's game. But yeah, especially when the penalties were on our side, because where I was sitting was fairly behind the goal, to be fair. So I was excited the penalties be taken behind on my side. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we couldn't get the win. I'm not angry. There's no need to be angry. It's just we've lost 3 finals in a row now, so hopefully we can break that record next season, and then just get that curse off our backs. But yeah, overall, proud of the boys, proud of the players. They gave everything. Most people, including me, saying Liverpool's the best team in the world on current form. Well, maybe not recently, but I think when Liverpool are in the game, I think they're the best team in the world. So yeah, look, can't be angry or anything. Obviously, it's sad with the result, but is what it is. It's football at the end of the day, and we had to take penalties to reach a winner. So we made ourselves proud, and we have to come back strong next season. Right signings, correct recruitment, and then we'll be back to win all these trophies again.
Okay, Abik, you must be very happy. That's 2 trophies in the bag this season. You still got the chance to win 2 more.
Yeah. So I didn't actually watch the final at all. I knew that I couldn't watch it, so rather than keeping up to date on my phone, I decided to just switch off all notifications and record it before I left the house. So I actually started watching the final at about 11 p.m. on Saturday night, and lo and behold, I was getting more and more tired watching the game, and I thought, these lot are going to take the penalties, so I'm going to be up until like 2 a.m. And of course, it went all the way to penalties. So I watched the whole 120 minutes and then the shootout. And like you said, even the shootout went to sudden death. So it was like, I was getting a bit annoyed. I was like, why can't it just be simple? Why can't it just end in 90 minutes like other finals? Like, but no, from what I watched, I think we showed a better account of ourselves compared to the Carabao Cup final. Luis Diaz was on fire, absolute fire, especially in the first 10 minutes. He kept getting behind Chalobah and caused all kinds of problems for Chelsea's back line. Chelsea came back into it, especially in the start of the second half. So the start of the second half, I'd say Chelsea played like Liverpool did at the start of the game, where they were all over us kind of thing. And you kind of felt, just anything could happen kind of thing. And then the last 10 minutes, I would say Liverpool came back into it. We hit the post twice. Diaz is unlucky. Robertson should score that in the last, I don't know, I think the last 5 minutes of the game. If he scores, I think we win it in 90 minutes, which is what I wanted, but he doesn't. And then it goes to extra time, and even next time Chelsea looked dangerous, and I thought, oh, we're not going to do it. But and the thing that worried me, the commentator got spot on, was as the game went on, Chelsea had options to come off the bench. They brought on some of those options, like Hakim Ziyech, for example. We didn't have those options because while Salah went off injured in I think the 30th minute, Jota came on. But then after that, we didn't really have any other options because our best options were already on the pitch. So Chelsea had the ability to change the game from options off the bench. But yeah, fortunately we held out. Goes to penalties. I was surprised that Azpilicueta hit the post. When it came to Mane's penalty, I was thinking, right, this is it, we won it, kind of thing. When he misses and it's a poor penalty, Mendy doesn't have to do an awful lot to save it. It's quite central. When he misses, I'm thinking the worst. Maybe that is Chelsea's name written on the cup. But then, yeah, Mason Mount unfortunately misses his. And then, of all people, Kostas Tsimikas scores the winner, which is what the FA Cup's all about. You talk about unlikely heroes. He's probably the unlikeliest hero to score in any situation. I think it's his first. He's not scored like a normal goal since he's joined us. So I don't know if you count a penalty shoot as a normal goal, but yeah, it's his first strike for us. So in a final, it's all about just getting that trophy. It's not really about how you perform or how you play at all. It's just literally getting that trophy, and we've done it again. I thought it was quite fitting as well because it was actually the 150th year of the FA Cup, and the first ever FA Cup was won by a captain who was from Sunderland. And obviously on Saturday, a captain from Sunderland has lifted the trophy for us, so quite fitting. And yeah, look, 2 trophies now. Can't really ask for much more. Still in the title race, just got on Champions League fun to look forward to as well. If you offered me 2 trophies at the start of the season back in August, I would have taken it. So I can't, you can't say anything that hasn't been said about this Liverpool team. We just keep going. It's been a mammoth season as well because we've now played 61 games now after Southampton the other night. So it's a lot of games. And that's one thing I liked about the FA Cup final is we were up against it because I don't care if Mo Salah's not in the best of form. To lose Mo Salah in the 30th minute, you can't tell me the Chelsea defenders wouldn't have been happy at seeing him go off the pitch because of who he is. Psychologically, it's a big blow for Liverpool to lose a player of that quality that early in the final. we didn't have Fabinho playing at all because he was injured. So that's another big player who didn't make the final. And then to take off Virgil van Dijk just before extra time as well. We had to, because he couldn't have played 120 minutes, obviously, because of the games we've still got left. So, that's a huge part of our spine that wasn't there up until the last minute of extra time. And for us to overcome all of those obstacles and still make it to the shootout and then win the shootout, the character, the mentality of this squad is absolutely unreal at the moment. We literally just don't know when we're beat. And it's great to see as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, so you mentioned the title race, 1 game to go. Everyone's looking at it as a foregone conclusion that Man City are going to beat Aston Villa at home. Obviously, they're big favourites to do that. You hold any hope that Villa might be able to do you a favour?
Well, I love that Steven Gerrard rested Coutinho and Danny Ings tonight. He had them both on the bench. No idea why, but obviously I'm glad, because it means that two of their best players are fresh for Sunday. Look, I think Man City will win, but stranger things have happened. We don't need Villa to win. We just need Villa to take a point. If they take a point and we beat Wolves, we won the title. It's as simple as that. I mean, at least now there's no goal difference factor or any complications. It's literally Liverpool win, hope that City don't, done. But yeah, I don't think it will happen. I think if it wasn't at the Etihad, if it was at Villa Park, maybe I'd have a slight bit more hope. But because it's at the Etihad and City know, and the quality they've got, even with the injuries they've got at the back, like players like Diaz and Stones out, I just think that they've got too much quality up front to trouble Villa, and I think it'll be quite comfortable in the end for City. We just got to do our job and hopefully beat Wolves and just hope for the best. And then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We've still got a Champions League final to look forward to the following weekend.
Okay, Amr, what do you think? Any chance Villa can do Liverpool a favour?
No, it's unlikely for me. I think Man City are going to really, really assert themselves on Villa at home. The fans will be up for it, and I think they're going to dominate the game, which we expect, but they just need to get that early goal in the first 15, 20. They get the early goal, everyone's calm. They can just pass the rest of the game off the pitch and just keep picking passes, picking spaces, and finishing goals. But now if they don't get a goal, in the first 60, then it's panic stations. They were looking for another Aguero moment or something, which they don't want to. They don't want to be in that situation. They don't want to be 10 minutes to go and Liverpool winning 2-0 and you have to score, and you're playing recklessly in a way. So City need to get early goal. I think they're gonna win the game comfortably, but just if they get an early goal, they'll be okay. Need to get the early goal, first 15, 20, settle the crowd, settle everyone down. Because if they don't, then yeah, pressure's on, big pressure's on. Obviously, Liverpool have to beat Wolves as well. And that would be funny if both teams are getting held with like 20 minutes to go. It's like, what are you guys doing? But it's the Premier League and no game's easy. But I think Man City are going to get their job done, and I think they're going to win the league.
I can tell you what my heart's going to tell me, what my head's going to tell me. So my heart's going to tell me that it's 1-0 to City. We're approaching the 90th minute. Coutinho has the ball outside the box and he curls into the top corner. It goes in, obviously, it's 1-1. Steven Gerrard, then, who's been getting a lot of abuse the whole game from the Man City fans, knee slides all the way down in front of the City fans, rips open his suit because he's showing off a full-on Liverpool kit, cup in his ears like that. That's what's going to happen. That's what my heart tells me is going to happen. What my head that's going to tell me that's happened is they're going to be 5-1 up after about 60 minutes. Then it's probably going to be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very important to get early goal because the fans will be, if you go into halftime and it's 0-0, there's still 45 minutes to go. But then in your mind, it's like, well, okay, when's it going to happen? And, because it depends how Villa play. Villa could just sit in defensively, I don't know. I think it's more important is because Gerard's manager. I think he gives that more that atmosphere, that feeling around the stadium and around all football fans, Premier League fans. It's a lot more. So Villa get early goal for panic stations. Villa get early goal, then Man City. Then it's all about having that composure in these type of kind of finals, if you can call it that. Like you have to just win the game to win the title. Um, I think they'll get it done. Well, let's see what happens. But football is crazy, and Villa are not a bad team. Villa have got good players as well, so it's not like Man City are playing an easy team where they know they're just going to smash it. They have to, like I said, assert their dominance at home and get an early goal.
Okay, let's do correct score predictions then for them two games. Liverpool Wolves, I'm going for 3-0 to Liverpool. And for Man City Aston Villa, I'm going for 4-0 to Man City. Abik?
I'm going to go for 2-0 to Liverpool and 1-1 at the Etihad.
Cool, that's the dream, yeah. That's my heart talking and the dream you've been having.
Yeah. I think it's going to be 3-1 Liverpool, and it's going to be 1-0 Man City.
Okay. I think Man City are going to thrash them. Personally, I just think they're too good a team. They're not going to let that chance slip. And Villa, all right, cool. They got Gerrard as a manager. They got your former player Coutinho, but they're not on that level. We know that. They're going to need a lot of luck to go their way. City are going to be focused. They're going to come at them. And yeah, I think easy win for City. But it's football. Anything can happen. It's exciting, that it's gone down to the last game of the season.
Yeah, I'm glad we managed to make that happen because I'm not saying it would have been a boring weekend, but at least there's another, like the relegation places are still undecided until the final day now. There's nothing confirmed. Top four is nothing confirmed yet. And title race, nothing is confirmed yet. So as a neutral, forget who you support. You want to see everything up for grabs going into the final game week, because if you don't, then, it's not as exciting, is it?
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned top four there. Don't really want to talk too much about our past week. I'm just trying to forget about it and get over it. It's been a painful last week for us. I've taken a lot of stick. A lot of Tottenham fans been speaking to me. And yeah.
Bottled it.
What could I say? We fell apart.
You can't disagree with that.
Yeah, we fell apart there. And then that was bad enough. We still have opportunity still in our hands. And we went to Newcastle and again, just really pathetic performance. And we're now totally out of our hands. We've blown it. There's a miracle needed. We're talking about Villa doing you guys a favour. We need Norwich to do us a favour. We're relying on the team that's 20th in the league, already relegated, been awful all season, to somehow put on a great performance and beat Tottenham. Can't see it happening, but as we said, it's sports, upsets do happen. I am hoping Norwich do us this huge favour, but reflecting on them last two games, really, like I say, really don't want to talk about their performances too much. Trying to get over it. It's been a few days now, so first couple of days after, it was obviously very tough. I was saying to you, my Tottenham friends were giving it to me, other teams as well. I've got a lot of friends that are Liverpool fans. They're giving it to me. Chelsea fans, they're giving it to me. And yeah, it's been a tough few days, but we really, really messed up the one against Tottenham. I think if we could have got a draw there, then I've taken a lot of pressure for us getting into the last couple of games. But the fact that, when I was speaking to you guys last week, we were 4 points ahead of them. 2 games later, we're now 2 points behind them, which is just so bad. I'm shocked with performances. It's one thing to lose games, but both games have been completely outplayed. The first game against Tottenham, some decisions did go a little bit against us. The penalty, okay, you can say, according to the rule book, it is a penalty, but we're seeing many penalties like that not given. The red card as well, okay, Holding, he was really struggling with Son, but, could have been a bit more lenient with referee. It's a derby. Maybe that first yellow card, he didn't have to give it to him. Then that second one, it might have been his first yellow card. And then we might not have had a red card. So I think in that one, some decisions did go against us, but we lost the game 3-0, and Tottenham, you got to say, deserved to win that game in the end. Overall, even though some decisions did go against us, against Newcastle, we've got absolutely no excuses because the no decisions went against us with referees that cost us in terms of a penalty or a red card. We were just awful. We got outplayed. Arteta said it himself, all credit to Newcastle. They were way better than us. We just couldn't find our game. They were pressing us. We couldn't handle their physicality. And we just got overrun massively in midfield. And they looked like the team that were trying to get a Champions League spot. And we looked like the team that was 14th in the league. And yeah, it was really painful. And I'm super upset. Did you guys see our games? I know I'm especially, he's got a lot to say. So go for it, Amma. You can go first.
I just want to say first things first. To all the Arsenal fans, after you guys beat us, that gave me all the stick in the world about getting third and this, that, and the other. I want you to calm down and shush, calm down. Don't be calling me, messaging me when you beat us in a one-off game, because we just secured third today and you're not going to get even fourth. So calm down. The Spurs game, I got it wrong. I can't believe I should do on Arsenal. I don't know what I was thinking. But tactically, I told you guys, Arsenal needed to go to White Hart Lane and slow the game down and make it a boring game. You needed like a Jose performance where it's a 0-0, ball the game off. It doesn't matter. You don't need to win the game because your rivalry is not more important than getting top four. But Arteta tried to go there and play football. You started all right in the first 10 minutes or so, but tactics, man.
One thing, yeah. I just got to say, and Conte very well from his days at Chelsea, right? But he was clever. Did you see what they were doing at the start of the game? They, on purpose, were playing quite slow and around the back a lot, yeah? They were trying to draw us on, and they were happy for us to have a ball as well. You could see they were happy for that first 20 minutes or so, we're doing all right. They were happy for us to have the ball. And that was kind of their game plan, because we know they like the teams to come onto them, right? So it was hard for us. Like, if a team's sitting back, I mean, you're sitting back, then it's very difficult. So Conte was...
My point is, but then you could just pass it around the back. Just slow the game. You don't understand my point? Is that you don't even need to go for a goal. You can just pass around the back. You don't even need to draw. For example, when they're passing around the back, let them have the ball. Sit back. Sit in your two banks of four, whatever, and let them have the ball. Let them pass it around. And then when they get in your 3 quarters towards your box, then you can maybe put some pressure on. But you guys, honestly, there is a way you could get 0-0 at White Hart Lane in that game. There is a way. And that way you do get top 4. But again, I don't know, with Newcastle or things like that. But I think if you guys get a draw at White Hart Lane, I think you get 4. Obviously, it's easier said than done to go to somewhere. Because the problem is, if you play for a 0-0, and then they score an early goal from a deflection or a free kick or something, then it's a problem because your players are thinking, well, we just thought we were going to try and draw here. That's the only problem.
You can't legislate for conceding a penalty and going down to 10 men as well. So that kind of just changed up everything. That changed up everything. After 25, 30 minutes, all game plans out of the window. You're 1-0 down, down to 10 men. The whole plan that you had beforehand is completely out of the window, and then you're having to adjust. You're already 1-0 down away at Tottenham, and the atmosphere was intense. I'm sure
amazing.
Saw how intense the atmosphere was. So it's very hard, I understand where you're coming from, but I just think things went against us a little bit. I'm not making excuses, but things did in a very short space of time. We conceded a penalty, Holding got booked twice. And before you know it, in the space of like 10 minutes, the game's kind of gone. Once you're 1-0 down and you're down to 10 men in a match like that, with that atmosphere, the game's kind of gone. So, not making excuses, but that 10 minutes of errors from Holding as well, Cedric, again, this is the thing. I'll tell you another thing, right? I was looking at the Liverpool-Southampton game, and when I saw that Liverpool made 9 changes, okay, and then I see the result. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the result and I just read that they made 9 changes and they still managed to win. There is no
I wasn't confident of that game. When I saw that lineup,
there's no way we could make 9 changes and go to a place like Southampton and win. We went there not too long ago, about a month ago, with our team, apart from a couple of injuries we've got, but we're a full strength team and we lost that 1-0. All right. They're not the easiest team to play. They're a good team at home. So the fact that Liverpool can go to a place like that, make 9 changes, that shows you how strong your squad is. And I just imagine us trying to make 9 changes. It would be such a weakened team, you know? So we're miles off that level that Liverpool and Man City are at.
I got to make one point, and I praised Arsenal for this throughout the season. Is I said that Arsenal is becoming good in terms of being a nasty team to play against. You've got aggressive players that get in your face, like Ramsdale, like Xhaka, like Gabriel. But the problem is, it's all well and good being aggressive and having a nasty side to you, but it's about doing it in a smart way, being aggressive in a smart way. Now I felt like Holding was being aggressive in the wrong way. He wasn't smart in how he was aggressive, and he was kind of like the ball wasn't even near Son sometimes, and he just dragged him to the floor. So let's not forget he made 4 challenges in the space of a very quick time. And he was just trying to it was trying to, do a Aleti on Son. He just wanted to proper rough him up, which you can get away with sometimes, but then you're risking your own self and the team's performance, and the whole game by playing that way. So you can be aggressive, but you have to be smart with how you do it. He was very, very silly. And Holding's not 21 years old. I think he's like 24, 25, isn't he? So, like you expect him to be a little bit more mature. The penalty, was a little bit soft, but I've seen them given. And again, it's like you give the referee the opportunity to give the penalty by doing something as silly as that. I mean, Gary Neville talked about it. If you do it, make sure the ball's the ball's coming across you when you give him a little nudge and ball goes out of play. It's done. No one gets a penalty. But for you to do that before the ball even comes near Son, I mean, that's immature defending. It's like you can't defend like that. You cannot defend a set piece like that without being smart. But yeah, Tottenham deserved to win the game. Tottenham were absolutely amazing. Some decisions maybe went their way, but the players, you could see the hunger, and they started controlling the game really well after their first goal, which they done really well in. And yeah, maybe they deserve top 4. Maybe they do deserve top 4, but yeah, it was a really good. I always love watching North London derbies. Again, the red card ruined it a little bit, but overall, it was a good game to watch. I didn't watch a Newcastle game, but I think everyone knew that Arsenal somehow were going to mess up against. Not somehow, because Newcastle are a very good team, and it's difficult to go to St James's Park. But everyone had a feeling Arsenal are not going to get it done, and even I did. I was like, I've got this feeling, and it happened. You lost 2-0. And now you need Spurs to really Spurs it up against Norwich. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they won't do it.
You know what, right? So I don't know if you remember, you were quite young at the time, but so last season at Highbury, Tottenham were ahead of us getting into the last game, and they were playing West Ham away. We had Wigan at home. So Tottenham had to beat West Ham and they would have sealed top 4. And then they had some dodgy lasagna. So half their team was injured. I bet you remember it. You're more my age, but I would have been very young back then. But yeah, so half their team were out injured. Well, not injured, sorry, out sick, right? Because of
poison.
January. And then they only drew that game 1-1. We beat Wigan at home last game at Highbury 4-2, and we qualified for the Champions League. And then obviously the conspiracy theories were that the chef that cooked this lasagna was an Arsenal fan. But yeah, so maybe something could happen to Kane and Son in training. Kane and Son could get injured. That would be a big miss for them, missing them 2 players. So you never know. So, I think we need a miracle really. But yeah, Abid, what's your thoughts on the whole situation with the top 4 and how my team have been last couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing I can say about Arsenal is the Tottenham game. Even if Holding didn't get sent off and other decisions went your way, so the penalty wasn't given, I still think Tottenham would have gone on to win that game. They just looked so much brighter and had that spring in their step when they were attacking. They just looked much more of a threat as a unit. Conte's really gone playing well, and the difference between Tottenham and Arsenal at the moment is the manager, really. I mean, Conte is a world-class manager. Arteta's still finding his way, but look at what Conte has done or Spurs have done against the big sides. They've taken 6 points out of 6 against City. They've drawn twice against us. I don't know what they've done against Chelsea. They may have lost, I think.
We've done a double over them. They're still Spurs to us, so yeah.
They're still Spursy, but okay, forget Chelsea, right? But to do what they've done against Liverpool and Man City, that's unbelievable. And they're the fine margins. Like, okay, yeah, they've screwed up like you have when they've dropped points against, I don't know, someone like Villa or someone like that, or Brighton.
Burnley away.
Yeah, or Burnley away. Yeah, so they've had their fair share of like bad results as well. But when the time has come, like the business end of the season, Conte has really shown his experience as a manager, and he's got them playing at the right time as well. Yeah, that I think they thoroughly deserve that victory, with or without the decisions that may or may not have gone their way. And then that obviously puts the pressure on you guys. With the Newcastle game, was more of a shock to me than the Spurs game, because the Newcastle game, as you mentioned, they had nothing to play for, but the way they played, they were playing like a team going for Champions League football. And I don't think you guys knew how to handle it. It didn't help that it was away from home. I think it would be different if it was at the Emirates, but yeah, it is a tough place to go. We struggled there as well. We not got away, but we managed a 1-0 win. It wasn't a battering. They're going to get better as well, Newcastle. We're not going to get worse because they're going to start investing soon. But yeah, I mean, the Newcastle game was more of a shock to me. But yeah, unfortunately, it is out of your hands. It's been like we're in similar boats now, because you're going to be relying upon another team to do you a favour. We've been doing that for half a season now, since the turn of the year. But the difference is, and it's gutting, but you had it in your own hands. You were fourth place. You were in the ascendancy, and you had it all within your control. And it's been taken from you basically because of a couple of bad results. Yeah, do I think Arsenal are going to get fourth? Absolutely not. I just cannot see Spurs not winning at Norwich, who sometimes when the team's been relegated, the pressure's off when they start playing a bit. But Norwich haven't done that, and Norwich got relegated quite a while ago now as well. It's not just recently. They're the first to go, obviously. So yeah, I can't see anything but a Tottenham win, unfortunately, which is no good for Arsenal.
This is the thing as well, though. They don't even need to win that game. A draw is good enough for them. So in your case, Villa getting a draw is good enough for you lot to go and win the league if you win your game. But for us, even if Tottenham draw, that's good enough for them to go on and finish in the top four. So yeah, we're not just relying on Norwich to hold out for a draw. We need them to actually win that game. So
yeah, I mean, it would be helpful if it was if they had Newcastle away.
Exactly.
Tottenham I'm talking about. That would be really helpful, because then you'd probably have a little. You'd still be out of your hands, but you could at least take a bit of comfort in knowing that what Newcastle have done to you guys recently and how they've been playing since Eddie Howe's taken over. Because Eddie Howe took over, since he's taken over, he's been manager of the season for me. He's been absolutely, what he's done, the signings he's made in January and where he's taken Newcastle to from where they were when Steve Bruce was in charge is unbelievable, really is. So that's the team that you probably wanted Spurs to face on the last day of the season.
Yeah, as you said, they're only going to get better as well. So the next season or two, they're going to be right up there competing at the top of the table, I think, with the amount of investment they can do to a team that looked already very good. I was quite surprised with how strong they were against us. We just couldn't handle them. I'm saying their physicality, where they pressed us, they got some really good players there, and they're just going to continue to add to it over the next couple of seasons. And definitely they will be right up there challenging, maybe not the Premier League in the next season or two, but soon I think they'll even challenge for the Premier League as well. With that amount of money they got behind them now, we're going to see a similar scenario to what happened at Chelsea and with Man City as well. So yes, really disappointing for us. And I have this question asked to me a lot, and I ask it myself a lot, is that, you know, looking at how we have been the last couple of years, we finished 8th, which was obviously really poor. This season, we're going to finish minimum 5th. Do you consider that as progress? Are you happy? Would you call it a successful season? When you just look at it like that, based on how we were the last couple of years, I mean, to finish 5th, you would say yes. But when you're that close, you know, we were in the ascendancy for quite a long time as well. In the last few months, we've always kind of been in pole position. We had some games in hand, but we've always been looking like the most likely team that could go in and get the Champions League spot. So when we're being this close and now like we're just 4 points ahead just 2 games ago, with only 3 games of the season left. So to be that close, I mean, it seems like we're going to miss out. It's really disappointing, but overall we are progressing. I just hope our board will back Arteta this time. They're backed him with the contract, as we discussed last week. I was talking to you about. They've done that. They've got to now back him in summer transfer. And the problem is, within a Champions League, it's going to be harder to attract players of the highest caliber because they've got Champions League football. Also, we don't have the financial resources we would have if we were in the Champions League. But hopefully, Arteta's got his targets. We can convince him to come and we can progress. It's going to be hard next season as well with the whole Thursday, Sunday turnaround with the Europa League. I mean, having to play just a couple of days later on a Sunday. But hopefully, we're going to have to add strength and depth to our squad for that. And hopefully, like I say, we do get that business done during the summer and trying to be positive there and hope that next season we can build and have a much better season, and this time finish in the Champions League positions, finish ahead of Tottenham, and hopefully maybe we win the Europa League as well. Going to ask you guys now for a prediction on the 2 games involving us now. So us against Everton. Everton got to mention as well, just avoided relegation. What a comeback from them. That's amazing. I saw their score.
Super Frank.
Yeah, I saw they scored 2-0 down at half time. I was like, wow, okay. That means they're going to have to come and fight for the game here because they're still in a relegation battle. But when I saw the full-time score and they won, I was happy because that means obviously they got nothing to play for when they come here. It means it's going to be an easier game for us. So yeah, correct score predictions for us against Everton and Norwich against Tottenham. I'll let you guys go first.
I think Norwich versus Spurs is going to be 3-1 Spurs. And then I think Arsenal versus Everton is going to be 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it'll be 4-1 to Spurs and 2-0 to Arsenal.
Okay. I would love to say like you, my heart's telling me, my dreams are telling me. I actually was like, this scenario played out in my head. Somehow Norwich went 2-0 up against Tottenham. Like, it was just a mad one. Norwich pulled it out of nowhere. They were 2-0 up and like we were winning our game. I don't remember how that finished. I was just at some point in a dream that in my head, right? I don't know if what happened at the end, if it finished 2-0 to Norwich or not, but that did come into one of my dreams, I'm sure of. And I'm hoping it's going to happen again in reality, because if Norwich could go 2-0 up, then there's a high chance they could go on and win the game. But realistically, I don't see that happen. It's going to break my heart, but I see Tottenham win. I'm not going to even give a correct score prediction, but I think they're going to win it quite comfortably. I just can't see Norwich putting out much of a fight. You know, they've been awful all season. I don't see how they're going to all of a sudden play really well. And even worst case for Tottenham, the draw is good enough. So they don't have to go all out attack. You know, they can keep it quite tight and just pick them off. And I see them winning that one comfortably. For our game, the fact that Everton are safe, that's going to, like I say, make it a lot easier for us. We've got to go out of a bang. It's not in our hands, but, you know, we've got to go out of a bang. I expect us to put in a performance. We've really suffered massively this last week, losing to our main rivals. I mean, losing against Newcastle and knowing that we're very likely to miss out on Champions League is really heartbreaking. And the only way the players can make it up to us and give us something to cheer about is by a nice, comfortable home win against Everton. So finish the season on a high. I'm going for us to beat Everton 3-0. All right, so that's all from us. Me and Abik are going to be praying for some miracles. In terms of Chelsea, I didn't even bother to ask you your thoughts on your last game of the season because you guys are playing for absolutely nothing. You got third secured. Who are you guys even playing? I have no idea. Who is it?
Yeah, so we got Watford on the last game of the season. So it should be a comfortable win. And it doesn't matter. We've confirmed third spot now, which we should have done and made a lot easier before. But it's all right. We've got third now. We crack on to next season.
Okay, so yeah, I hope some miracles happen and when we do next week's show. Somehow we're in the top 4. And yeah, then we preview.
Somehow Liverpool won the league and the quadruple still on.
No.
Yeah, then,
Go on, City and Spurs.
To be fair, at the time of recording, I can still say it. So up the quadruple chasing Reds because it is still on.
Oh, enough of that.
I thought this was the last time I could say it 3 weeks back, but it's do you know what, credit, because the fact I can still say it now in almost mid-May, unbelievable.
100%.
So I was just going to say, so next week's going to be doing the Champions League final preview. And
Yeah.
Umar has been saying quite a lot this season, Champions of Europe. So he's only got about, 10 days left of saying this now.
We know what we are. Well, we're still champions of Europe, and we can sing it for the next 2 weeks. But then whoever wins,
10 days, yeah. So they know
Real Madrid will win.
9 days. The finals in 9 days.
Real Madrid. Hang on a second. Real Madrid will make it 14 European titles, and you're forgetting we're champions of the world, champions of the world.
We're gonna hear that.
That's another 6 months.
Yeah, we've got to hear that until
the world. No, till February. They played the Club World Cup in February, so wait until February.
No, they usually play it in December, but I think this year they did it in Feb because of COVID.
Well, I just hope they delay it as much as they possibly can. How about that?
Because it's going to be interesting. We'll talk about more about this during the summer, but it's going to be a really interesting season next season with the World Cup being in November and December. So
it's going to be chaos.
I don't know when the World Cup Championship will be next year because everything's been turned around. The way the fixtures are going to be, the season's going to be finishing a lot later. It's going to be a bit of a strange season. Never had a World Cup at that time of the year before, so it's going to be interesting how that all goes next season. Obviously, we'll discuss that more during the summer break, along with all the transfer news. Hopefully, my boys are buying a lot of players. Let's see how that all goes. But before that, got this big weekend. Let's see how it goes. Look forward to speaking to you guys next week about it all. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me on once again. Great ending to the season now. Unfortunately, we lost on penalties, but still a lot of football to be played.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. And one last time, up the quadruple chasing Reds.
Swear to God, I can't wait until the next podcast. Bloody hell.
Then it'll be up the treble chasing Reds.
So that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.